A little bit late, but we ain't got to worry about people walking into the shop. Unless this person right here, this person's in here. He's going to help me tonight. Ain't that right, boy? Ain't that right, boy? Hey, y'all. You think I'm kidding? Look at this. His name is Boy. Let's see. Get his collar right here. Right here. That's his name. See that? Right there. His name is Boy. Ain't that right, boy? So when I call him Boy, that's all he knows. Ain't that right, boy? So anyway, what we're gonna do is he's done ate. If I leave him in here, he's gonna get into everything. Go outside. Come on. He don't like it in here no way. Very long. Noise is scary. He don't like that. So anyway, I've been tinkering with these seats and stuff like this right here. There's the seat bottoms. There's the backrest. I cut some wedges to go on them. You know, on the other video, I added this part right here to it. If you can see. Right here. I added all this right here to it and gave it a little bit of a lumbar right through here. Still, they're still narrow. Like you see that right there. That's not very wide, y'all. The backrests are going to be a lot harder to cover than the bottom. Another thing that I did to these seats, if you looked at my other video, where the backrest was kind of, my daughter has a dog named oh, okay. I added that right there. You can see the darkness in there. So you see the black looking part down there where it was kind of like dipped out right in here, right in there. I added that right there because the way it would make it easier to cover. Plus, these prongs right here for the headrest, when they stick through, I don't want it to stick into the cover. The way I'm gonna have to put these on is I'm gonna put a zipper down through here or right in here. Put a zipper and a zipper right through here, right to the back side. You got to have a plan. We started out with just springs. The guy brought them up here that way. So anyway, he did bring me 2 hides. So these hides, I've laid them out and I've tried to find all the bad spots. Like this right here, that's a bad spot. And it's got a bunch of little scuffs on it. But this dude right here, and you see him right over there, this guy sells leather to these companies that do furniture and stuff. So you can look at that and tell that the grain is kind of rough compared to my finger. You see how rough it is? So he sells furniture to, furniture hides to these companies all over. All over. He's everywhere. So he brought these furniture hides, and you look, that joker's thick right there too. Now I do have a scathing machine that you can pick up there and it'll take some off, but it's broke. The machine's broke. I got to fix it. So this is going to be, if you look at this picture right here, I drew this before we ever knew that we was going to put them headrests and stuff on it. So you can look right there. That's got dark tan. So that tells me where he wants the, even the back of the seat tan with a pocket. So that tells me kind of like what pieces he wanted on there and which way he wanted it done. I don't think this gray and this kind of a tannish color, I really don't think that these two are going to look that great. But it's not my seat. All I am is the artist painting the picture, and that's all I get to do. I don't know what that is. You see all kind of stuff on these hides, brands, all kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start doing this right here. I'm gonna try to explain as I go. I'm only gonna do the bottoms right now because the back rest is gonna take me a little bit longer to do. And if you look at this, I don't know if you can see it from that angle, but I'm gonna show you from this angle. You see this right here? All that right there? That is the belly. And he said, oh, you can use the belly. But really, the belly part don't look that good. And this right here looks much better on this side right here. So that's the part that I mainly want to use. So this part over here, it's going to be kind of like in the scrap category. All right. Hey, y'all, I went and looked at my channel. I never look at my channel, but I went and looked at it today. And I watched this lady. She's an older lady, and she was telling me how she was doing her channel, how she started doing it, and then she started getting a bunch of the subscribers and stuff, and she tried it for a while, and then she quit, and then she come back later on and tried it again. I'm telling you, it's a whole bunch of work goes into doing a really good video. That's why I make I don't make real good ones. I make kind of like bad ones, you know. I don't do the editing thing. And if you're going to do anything, if you're going to make it like it's supposed to be, you need to do the editing. You need to learn how to do it all. But I didn't. I hadn't learned it. And it just turned out to where it's going to these videos that I make ain't gonna be that good until I either pay somebody to come do it or I learn how to do it myself. Alright. So this is one thing you gotta figure out. You gotta figure out on these little seats is, do I wanna go around here? Like put a border around here? A boxing, is what they call it. Do I want to put that around here? Or do I want to roll it over the edge like this right here? You know, if you roll it over the edge, then it's not going to have nothing behind the person's legs right here. You know, it's going to be kind of smooth, but right here. And I really don't know which way I want to go, but I'm thinking I may go all the way around here. That's what I'm thinking. And then I had to come in here and I got to notch this out and put a piece in here like that and leave it long to where it can be wrapped around here. This is going to have to be covered separately right in here. And the way it looks is the boxing part right here will have to be that tan color. And the edge right here, like you see it right here, this has got to be gray, and that edge right here has got to be tan right in here. So I'm gonna have to cut some of that off. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm gonna have to cut some off. It can't be real wide. So I'm gonna come right here and just mark it kind of like where I have an idea. Come around here, go down. Just like that. So that'll be my boxing right here. These pieces right here, right here. If it's gonna have gray in the middle, this part, I'm thinking about this wide. So that's gonna be just say around 3.5 inches. Yeah. 4 inches, maybe 4 inches by. This has got to be, I'm gonna say 23. So we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna mark this right here 3 inches. And I'm gonna allow myself, the, so I'm just gonna mark it 3 right here. All the way down. And that way, whenever I make this thing, I'm gonna come over here a 1/2 inch longer, and I'm gonna come over here a 1/2 inch longer. So that's 3, I'm gonna make it 4. That way I got that 1/2 inch to sew to it and a 1/2 inch to go around this boxing right here. Just like that. And I hope this phone don't start ringing. I didn't put it on do not disturb. That thing rings all the time. You know, I never showed everybody what that you know, I was looking through my channel and I started doing the foam and stuff to the motorcycle seat. I noticed that, hey, I never even finished it, never even showed y'all. Sometimes we just stress for time in here and I just didn't make the video. But I got a picture of it right here, what it turned out to look like. Let me see. On my phone. Right there. Right here. My phone's cracked. All right, this is what it turned out to look like. If you can tell. That's that motorcycle seat that I done. That's the backrest to it. That was the alligator. See how it's got the studs and stuff all the way around it? Hey, that was a good looking seat. That guy had a trike that was a Harley Davidson. It looked really, really nice. But, hey, if I was a real good YouTube creator instead of a good upholstery dude, I would have done that. You know what I mean? I would have made that video because that's what I would have been more concerned with instead of getting paid. Maybe that's why I really don't make no money doing YouTube. But I got this edge right here. We know that's going to be 4 inches. This right here. This is going to be, you see it's 12.5. I got to make it 13, give myself a little bit on each side to sew to. That's at 13 right there. Okay, so that's 12.5, 13, and it's going to have to be about 23 long. So 23. cut that out. One thing you need, if you're doing this type work, you're gonna have to have one of these. We're gonna skip all that belly grain right there. We're gonna come right here. I'm gonna mark this. I could have marked it with a. Let me see. I might just go that way with a grease pencil. I could wipe it off that way. Once I cut this piece out right here, 13. Okay. And you line them marks up. So there's my piece that goes in the center. I made it a little bit long because I'm going to, what I'm gonna do is take, and I'm just gonna spray a little bit of that spray adhesive on it. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a touch of it. That way, it will kind of hold it in place while I sew it. But I'm not gonna glue it. I'm not gonna glue it on both sides. All right. That is some thick leather right there, especially right in certain places. All right, so that don't look too bad. I think I'll get it out of this way. I'm trying to save as much as I possibly can because I got to do that back seat there, and that thing's big. And I'm looking for scars and scrapes and stuff like that too as I go. You'd be surprised. Sometimes you can't see it, you'll miss it. And you'll be gonna sew that thing in there. And you'll be wondering what happened. How did it get in there? All right, so we got both of these. And this right here is really all I'm gonna need out of this hide, which is a good thing because I still got to cut the backrest and stuff like that out of it. And that back seat, that thing's pretty good size. So now I got to cut those pieces out. It's got to be 4 inches wide. Y'all know what that saying is? The customer is right. That motorcycle seat that I done, you seen that? He told me, he gave me a green light, and then he changed it. He come out here and he said, "No, man, that ain't the way I want it. That ain't the way I want it." But he could not vision the way it was supposed to be. And what was going to happen. He couldn't see that far into it. So I said, man, we're going to stop on it till you figure it out. I want you to get over there and just draw what you want. And then he got over there for just a second. He said, man, just go ahead and do it. I can't tell you what I want. So. Damn, that looks like that joker was rubbed up next to a post or something right there in the field. That right there. Can y'all see that? Right there, that dark looking spot right in here. And it's a little on the shiny side too, right there where I showed you. All right, so what we're gonna do is take this, and I'm just gonna try to find a good little section to cut that out of. Not in the belly part. He said this was display. And you see, got scratches and stuff on it. This thing looking huge. Really. All right, there's the belly right there. So this must be the middle of the back right here. Hey, how do you get what you're looking for? 4 inches by 23, maybe? Yeah. What's that, 4 inches by 23? $23. Man, that's around the leg. I can tell you. Speaking of leather and cows and stuff like that, I seen where millions and millions and millions of hamburgers sold just by one chain. And where does all that beef come from? It makes you wonder, don't it? It makes you wonder what's going into it. So there's my brown looking pieces that goes on each side. Boom, boom, right there. And here's my gray that goes in the center. Like that. So once I put this on, then I'll draw some lines and stuff in it and just sew them crossways like I did in that picture. That is kind of flat. Yeah, I'm just gonna do one. All right, this is kind of flat. This piece right here don't have far to go, so we're gonna make it. I'm gonna say 6 inches. 6 inches will give me enough, like to wrap around it. So if I make it 6, I'm gonna have to make it 12. 6, 12. Whenever you're cutting out these seats, all the stuff that you do, it's good to go ahead and measure off enough to do both of them at the same time. You don't want to have to go back and do them one at a time while you're doing them. You see, I'm just leaving them long. I ain't squaring them up or nothing because I'm gonna make the pattern, and when I make the pattern, then I'll go back and trim it. Man, that's thick as a belt. I hope this is gonna look good. Like I said, that scathing machine I got, where I could trim it down thin, it's broke. But look how thick that is. If you can see. Ah, look how thick that is. That is thick. So at least he'll have some thick covers in case he's crashing. Hey, maybe it'll be a little extra pad in case something happens. Because every little bit would help. We don't want him to do that. So basically, this is about all the pieces that I need to fix it, just about. There's some little pieces I might wind up needing, but I think we're kind of good right there. So we'll fold this up. Right there. I got this piece of pad. It don't go all the way to the back. it goes a little bit to the back, but not all the way. Because back here, it can't have no padding back there. That's the reason I made it a little short. It's just gonna have to dump off that way. All right, so this right here is gonna be a little long, just like this. I really don't like this glue that good. What I'm fixing to use. Throw a whole bunch of stuff away today. This will work. We're using this real thin pad right here, so it won't get all over the table. Like that. Fold it back. And all I'm gonna do is spray this right here. You can see it's just a clear foam adhesive. I don't use this that much, but it is kind of sticky, but not bad. And I don't want to spray it. I don't want to spray it on the leather. I want it to be loose, as I can just feel, loose, but not too sticky, but just loose. So it ain't that sticky. Well, that is, but that spray adhesive always gets all over your scissors. So you can go ahead and inspect that. All right, I got that little tail right there on the back with nothing on it. That's the way it's got to be. This thing's got an accordion belly. Probably some modern cows that had. All right, got that. Them two right there. These right here work the same way. Back here at the back, they don't need all that pad back there at the back. So I'm gonna come right here. Look at there, some tape. I'll leave that on there if I can get it off. You got fingernails? Always pull your pliers out. just go ahead and spray it and stick it. If I wasn't making this video, I'd be going as fast as I could. For real. Which I should be doing that now, but you might miss it. This is some fairly soft leather. It feels good, but it's got a few scuffs on it like that. Like that right there. If you can see that. See them scuffs? All right. So now I got to draw some lines on here, and you know you don't want to use no marker, or I mean you can use a grease pencil. It's just a little bit harder to get off. But a piece of chalk like this, like that, works good. So I'm gonna show you how to. I've always done it this way. Take your scissors like this, and you sharpen it, just like that. Just easing some of it off at the time, like that, and it makes it sharp where you can draw your lines. I'm just going to come down just a little bit and start some lines right here. Probably about 6 inches. 6. This chalk right here really don't show up that great. I can't see the line though. Okay. And I'm gonna say maybe one more. You know, I could come in here and draw a little thing like coming up here and turn it and go back, but I'm not going to do all that. Six. I may have to look hard to see it. All right, here we go. See if I can bring you around here. Oh, if I can get out of the way. I think I can scoot over a little bit. Maybe you can. I've oiled the sewing machine so much it's just got oil dripping out of it. All right. A gray thread would be nice. I got some gray, but it ain't that gray. Let me look. Oh, that ain't gonna do it. I think I got it. See there? All right, I'll put this thread on there. And instead of having to pull it all through there, I mean, I could pull it through there pretty quick, but I can usually do this right here pretty quick. Sometimes, well, maybe not that time. All right, so I got it wound up. It really don't matter that I got that color on the bottom. It would be better if I had a lighter color though, I think. I got this color, some white. All right, so we're gonna sew this right here up really quick and sew the sides on it, and then we go back and shape it to the foam. Almost always, I don't even think about it really. Just hit that back button and lock that stitch like this. Take a couple and then lock the stitch, and then go right there and That way it don't come unraveling right here at the edge. I got about 100 or so of these hides. I don't have no furniture hides though. I don't know for sure if you can see that. When I'm sewing this right here, I try to do it all the way across. Sometimes if you take and turn it around, if it ain't glued real good, it'll cause a wrinkle. It will make this wrinkle right in this seam right here. I mean, it might not do it in this one, but that first one right here, it will. It might be stuck good enough. It might not do it, but I've seen it do it before. You see? Check this out. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, it's a little bit right there, the wrinkle going this way. Can you see that? The wrinkle going this way from me turning it around and going backwards. It might not do it on this one right here, but it did it on that first one. That's why it's best to, if I'd have rolled it up, that wouldn't, that one right there would not have them lines going into that way just a little bit. I mean, it ain't bad. I mean, it's not going to hurt it, but I know it's there. I'll show you the difference on this one. All right. You don't see that in that one. You don't see it. But this one right here, where I turn it around backwards, right in there, right in here, you can see it. It even pulled it right here a little bit, but you can see it. I could hit it with some steam and knock it right out, so I ain't worried about it. All right, let me get those pieces that go right here. It's a dark brown. I'll be right back. this right here would have been light brown and this would have been dark brown, that it would look so much better instead of gray. I mean, it's just something I think he had. Instead of it being gray here, that crap don't, I mean, you got to do what the man wants, you know. He brought it in here and then, oh, I want my airplane seats fixed out of that. So, hey, here we are. Doing it. There's that 1/2 inch right there. Back it up, lock that stitch. Now, how does that look? Hey, it's gonna look good from here. My house. You know, you just got to. And he did bring leather, so that's a good thing. An airplane, leather meets all the fire codes. So, you know, if there's an issue, it ain't going to come back with somebody saying there's an issue about what we put on it. Because leather meets all the codes of what you need to put in an airplane. And there we are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this over there. I ain't gonna sew this one up right now. I may wait and sew it up a little bit later, but I will do this one. And we'll go over there and draw this right here out. And hey, we'll go from there. So here's the seat. Just like that. I could come in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I could come in here and put a groove in that, and that way, this right here, this it does look better, you know. If that's, I might groove it. Shit. I'm not just going to do it. Hey, if it ain't gonna take you just a minute to do it, go ahead and just do it. You know? Get you one of these. It's got a little 1/2 inch belt on it. Feels like it's wore out. That does. So I'm probably gonna have to change the belt. Ground metal on stuff like this right here. I know that ain't gonna cut nothing. I don't forget what was grinded on this right here, but it ain't. It ain't going to. It won't cut this foam if it ain't got a good piece of blade in it. Wait. That's it. Hold that back. Throw that in the trash. Line that up. Flip that on. I'm just going to, I really don't want to cut it all the way off. You know, like cut the edges down too much. I could, but I ain't. So what I'm going to do is right here where I got these lines drawn, which is 3 inches from here to here. I'm just going to come right in here. That's kind of thin right there, so I can't go real deep. Alright, so now we got our groove in there. Doggone it. I really didn't want to do it. But. So when I glue this on like this, that seam right there will go down into that groove and make it look like it's not sticking up like it was. Makes any sense. So whenever I glue that on, it's going to look kind of like it goes down and then back up. It's going to be more contoured to fit the seat. All right, so I'm going to do right here. All I'm going to do is cut this edge right here, like right around here, and I'm gonna probably have to go back and stitch tack that right there, because it's gonna knock that that double stitch back that I put on there to hold it in place. And just like that. See? That's the way it's done. Do the same over here. Even if you got to cut this 2 or 3 times, make sure that you don't overcut it. Make sure you don't overcut this, because if you do, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go back and take it off, start over, scratch. And you sure don't want to have to do that. All right, so I'm just going to cut this right here down and sew a piece that's about that long around here and notch it back up under here. It's got to be glued. That's the way these doggone airplanes is put together, just like the model ones that you get in the store. Glue it. They ain't made out of nothing. People flying around up there. That shit got some resin on the wings. They're flying around. That thing could just come apart. Okay, so I got to tack these up here. While I do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew around that edge right there. All right, right, especially right here where I double stitched it before. I'm gonna come right in here, catch it back about 1 inch, double tack it there, and double tack it there. That way, the seam ain't gonna come loose. Cause I'm telling you, just right here, look at this. It would come loose. I can pull that apart. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead around here like this. I like to do this. The factory does do this. I always wondered why they did it. Then I started doing it. Damn, that knocked that disengaged my sewing machine. It hit something. Probably that real thick. Let me cut that off. Probably this real thick edge right here where it's all double. It's so thick right here. I will cut just a little bit of that off. Man, that joker right there is thick. These lava hides right here was thick anyway. I mean, they were really thick. So while I go back, start over. If you like brown and gray, this is a seat right here. Brown and gray. Hey y'all. It might not look that bad once it's all done. Who knows? Maybe it won't. Brown and gray. Alright. So now this part right here is if you look right here, it's what is these pieces? Right there, right there. I got these scrap pieces like this right here. And some scrap pieces over here. When I use leather, normally I try to use all of it that I can because it's fairly expensive. And that ain't no straight line by no means. Alright, so I need that to be probably about like this. About like this. Hey, and these scissors are not really too dull. You know? So we all at. Yeah, the scissors ain't too dull. All right, and this piece right here will go right in here, just like this. Right in. Hold on. See that tape? That crap does not want to come off. But anyway, it goes just like this. It's going to start right here and go all the way around to right there. Yeah. All right, we got this other piece here. I'm just going to lay it on top of it and cut me another piece out real quick. It's still got a little bit of that on there. Shit, I'm just gonna leave it on there. All right, we're gonna come right over here. Right there. And then I'm thinking this boxing right here, I'm gonna have to turn you around one more time once I get this right here sewed on. So all I'm gonna do is it's gonna be like just a blind type stitch. That is some thick. That's some thick leather. Hey, if it stuck that good. All right, let me start right here. All right, so that'll go down into that seat like this, just like that, and be glued. Because nothing holds this on but some glue, and that's it. The whole thing is all that's going to be held on with is glue. Just like that. That's all it's going to be held on with is glue. That's going to go down. And the boxing is just going to go from right here around. So we'll do that. All right. Got it on there, just like that. All right, so you see it right here. Just goes down, just like that. Can't go too far down. I mean, it's just going to be glued right up under here. So it starts right here. That's where this boxing right here starts. And it just goes around. So check this out. We're going to come right here. Just like this. Come right here. I'm going to cut this off. just like that. And this part right here, if you don't go around it flat, like the way I got it like this, if you don't go around it flat, like, or either up, like that, pull that up, pull that up, pull this up. The reason I'm pulling that up is because this right here has got to go around that bar right in here. And if it's got too much slack in it right in here, it's going to create some wrinkles or whatever. As a matter of fact, I might wind up having to sew that right there and take a, damn, where's it at? Oh, there it is right there. So I might not have to take none out of it. But anyway, you want to take as much of that right there out as you can before you get to that point. So here, this is what I'm going to do right here. Is I'm going to cut this right here down a little bit. Like that. Come right here. That line goes down right here. See? So I'm gonna have to come down to the line. Let's see. Here we go. Don't want to mess it up. All right, and to make sure I got it just right, I'll take this piece and I'll lay it on top of this piece to make sure that everything is lined up just right. All the pieces is just right. You can tell right here. You can see right here, it ain't. Is that? Or can you see it? See? That ain't lined up just right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this right here. Come right here. Man, that's some thick leather. No wonder it ain't right. Now it's just right all the way down. And this piece, if you see right there, that's where I trimmed it on the back side. I got to take it and trim it off. So I'll trim it off level, get all my pieces just right. And then I notch a V in the middle of it. Right here. Come right here. This is my center. Man, what's some leather? Some good stuff. All right. I'll take my other piece that I got to make another pattern with, and I'm gonna set it on top of this boxing, and I'm gonna mark it. That way I ain't got to do all that stuff right there all over again. That's one reason why it's good to do them both at the same time. All right, so here we go. center. So now we'll take this over there, sew this on there, and these pieces right here, before I put the cover on it, these pieces right here is going to have to be covered right here. It's just going to have to, with a piece, just say like a little scrap piece like this, like that, and notch a hole in there for the bolt to go through it. It's going to be just like that, and then glue it to where it's on the bottom. But not that piece, it's a 1/4 inch thick. But we'll turn this around, we'll sew this on to the cover and see how good it looks. Hey, I might could zoom you in. How about that? Okay, just like that. Alright, so I'll fold this right here, find my center. Just like this, just like that. This needs a top stitch on it or something. It just needs something going around it to hold it down. I may wind up putting one on it, but this is so thick already. It's done knocked my sewing machine out. Disengaged the clutch on it. Gonna come right here. Gonna sew it thin. Gonna sew it close to the edge like that. Remember, I allowed a 1/2 inch to go around this. That's the reason I made it that piece 4 inches wide. Alright, you know I don't want to go around it with a gray top stitch. I don't think I do anyway. I don't think I do. Hey, I got some contrast thread right here. That it might break, but we're gonna try it. It ain't the bigger contrast. It's a contrast thread, but it's not as thick as that real big contrast thread. It'll go through my regular needle. Oh, gone. Come on. right, so I'm gonna start right here. Doggone it. Doggone it. It ain't gonna work. It's knocking my sewing machine out for some unknown reason. It must be too thick. It's like the thread's too thick. I mean, not the thread, but the leather. The leather is really, really thick. That ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. It's too thick to put contrast thread on it. Or something. I got to get that thread out. Okay. This out. This'll work. All I'm gonna do is just put a top stitch in it. Check my needle. If you take your fingernail and you can hang it on that needle, you probably need to change your needle. So, anyway, that's where we're at. That matches it really good. You take and pull that right there back. Make sure that you get it, oh shit, even all the way. I'm telling you, this is so thick, it's like my sewing machine is having a hard time. Oh gosh. Come on back, come on back, come on back over here. It's disengaging the clutch on my sewing machine. making sure my thread's still going, because if it knocks my clutch out, I'll be sewing and it won't be turning my bobbin on the bottom side. All right. Really, really close to the color. That's where my stitch come loose right here. I'm gonna leave that long, and I got to do something with this right here. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, check that out. You see the stitch is like, hold on. Let me go back. Okay. Real close to the color. See? All the way around. All right, here we go. Come right here. We got it grooved out right here. So all we got to do really is take it and glue the cover on. Even though that ain't exactly what we would have wanted in the color. And these sides right here, that's gonna go down just like this. Split it right in here, and it's gonna go over the edge just like that. Just like that. And this right here is gonna be glued down back, just like that. It's just glues. You would think that it would be done differently, but it's not. This right here will be split right here. And that part right here is going to be just wrapped up under, like that. Like that. But this piece right here, that burlap that's on there, I'm probably going to cut that off. And a piece of leather like this, it's going to come right up under here, like that. And then that piece right there go over it, just like that. Just like that. That's the way it's going to go. And that's going to be glued on. It would be 10 times better if I had a piece that wasn't near that thick. I mean, that, no joke, that's over. It's a 16th. So, you know, that's, or 8. Let's see. There's not a 16th on here, but it's an 8. Hey, it's the whole 8. That's pretty thick. Normally it's about half that. So anyway, that's basically what it's going to look like right here. I'll take these pieces right here, pull them down, and glue them right over that bar. And this crap had so much glue up under here, you just wouldn't believe it. We tried to sandblast it off, and it wouldn't even the sandblaster wouldn't budge it. And we had both air compressors on, it wouldn't touch it. So we're gonna take that right there, glue that right down, pull it, glue it right down on. It ain't gonna be beautiful, but it's gonna make some nice looking seats, even though the colors is a little bit weird. See? Don't you think the colors is kind of, if you dress like that with clothes, you know, your wife would say, hey, how about going and changing that shirt? So that's the way it's going to look all the way around. Hey, but I'm gonna do the other thing. I'm gonna do the backrest. I'll video doing the backrest. I just got to sit down and kind of figure out exactly how to mount the thing, because it's the way it is it's gonna, I'm gonna have to put zippers in it on each side to zip it down, because there's no way to do all this stuff in that seat without doing that. He wants some pockets on the back of it. So hey, there we go. But it's crucial. This right here is important. Not to have nothing back here. Because this seat, when you put that airplane seat together, all this right here is going to be pulled down real tight. When you put that airplane seat together, it can't have nothing in here. It can't have nothing. I mean, it's got what? Not even a 1/4 inch piece of pad right here. So that's the way the seat can lean back on itself. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming in, watching the video. If you like it, give a thumbs up. If you don't like it, then still give a thumbs up. And like and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, just subscribe anyway. And we might have some good stuff coming in, the real good stuff, so you might like it. You might learn something. Hey, believe it or not, it's a dying trade. Nobody's learning. Nobody, I don't think, wants to, but they need to. So, thanks everybody. See y'all next time.